This is Dr. Chambers on Call, live and local on Talk Radio 790 KABC. The number to call, 800-222-5222. Remember, on this show, no questions too dumb, no questions too tough, and no questions too embarrassing. 800-222-5222. Now, during the week, when I'm not on KABC and being live and local, my website is drchambersoncall.com. There you catch my latest podcast, articles, and videos. Everything from probiotics, what they are, what they're not. Probiotics, in case you don't know, are live bacteria that we want you to eat. I kid you not, we want you to eat live bacteria. Why? Because we now understand there are good bugs and bad bugs. And if you don't have enough good bugs, the bad bugs take over. So check out my video. It'll make you smile, I promise. But it will also educate you a little bit about what probiotics are and why you need them in your life. Now, on Thursday is what? St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. It's a big day in Ireland when I grew up. It's actually a national holiday. But when I was growing up, we used to hear about the big celebrations in America. The huge New York parade. There's so many Irish people there, we thought like, wow. And when I got over here for my first Paddy's Day, I realized that everybody on Thursday will be an honorary Paddy. Everybody can celebrate, everybody can party. Now sometimes I get a bit nervous about this because I see people just getting drunk. Just getting what we call in Ireland, spifflicated. They're so drunk they don't know where they are. If you don't know what I mean, just walk down Main Street tonight in Santa Monica and you see a lot of millennials who are spifflicated, who have taken too many shots, who are binge drinking. And for me, that's not what Paddy's Day is about. Because Paddy's Day for me is about traditional food. Corned beef, brown bread, desserts. Remember, farming in Ireland is not going back to sort of micro-farming or organic farming. That's what it's always been because the place is small. The farms are small. And I had a trip home to Ireland last December. First time in 30 years I spent a Christmas in Ireland. And made me think, what does being Irish mean to me? And it's a complicated picture because I tend to think of Ireland as being maybe not what it is. We Irish are somewhat resilient, I think. And Daniel Patrick Moynihan, who was one of the most famous senators in the 20th century, Irish-American, said this: "To be Irish is to know that in the end, the world will break your heart." And I think that a lot of people have that kind of image of Ireland as being dark. Irish people as being dark and moody and brooding. And I thought, A few years ago, there was a movie called No Country for Old Men, written by the genius, the American genius, Cormac McCarthy. Coen Brothers did it, masterpiece. And when I heard the title, I said, my God, that's brilliant. That so sums up America. But the line, No Country for Old Men, is from an Irish poem by William Butler Yeats, the Nobel Prize winner. And he wrote it because so many Irish people end up in exile. So many Irish kids are born and they emigrate. Now, that's not so bad. Because for hundreds of years, you couldn't really be Irish in Ireland because we were dominated. And the first time that the Irish were told it could be something that they're not was America. America gave us our break. America said, hey, you can come in. You can be whatever you want to be. And of course that reached its culmination when John F. Kennedy became president of the United States, the first Catholic president back in the early 60s. Now, my vision of Ireland has changed an awful lot since I grew up. I now think of Ireland in a totally different way. It's a small island that was really insecure about itself when I grew up, but it's come more and more into itself. It's even reflected in its movies. Some years ago, probably the most prominent Irish filmmaker, a man called Jim Sheridan, who was nominated for an Oscar for My Left Foot, said, well, we Irish, we don't really do love stories, you know, because you don't get the girl in the end. I'll translate that for you. We Irish Don't do love stories, because you don't end happy. You don't get the girl in the end. When I hear them saying that, because I'm a different generation, I'm like, what's he talking about? There is love in Ireland. There are love stories. We do get the girl. The girls do get us. And recently, there was another Irish movie nominated for an Oscar, for actually many Oscars. Brooklyn. You may not have heard of it. It's done maybe, 45 million at the box office, which is pretty decent. A great performance. And it's about a young woman from the 1950s in Ireland coming to Brooklyn and finding her life. And finding the pull of Ireland to get her to go back when a tragic event happens to her family. Now, you don't have to be Irish to appreciate this story. Because I've had some of my friends who migrated from the Midwest to California who got it, who have that feeling that they lost something when they moved from the Midwest, but they love what they have in California. And there's a pull. So if you're Mexican, if you're from Guatemala, if you're from China, wherever you're from, if you watch this movie, you'll appreciate the pull. Now, she ends up having a choice between her Irish love, and she stays in Ireland, or her new love, her new beau, the guy in America. I'm not going to spoil the ending. I can tell you she finds love. Where she chooses and why she chooses it is at the heart of the story. But why I love this movie, pretty much more than most of the other movies I saw last year, was this. It kind of summed up who we are as a nation. We're resilient. Yes, there's tough times, but we go on. And it celebrated what America gave us. And it celebrates what America means to literally the world. Opportunity. Come on over. You can be one of us. You can be whatever you want to be. If you have the talent, if you have the drive, we will give you the opportunity. I'm not one of those immigrants who looks back and says, oh my God, why isn't this Ireland? Why isn't this more like Ireland? Why isn't this? No. I love America. I'm happy and I'm proud to be a naturalized American citizen. That doesn't mean, however, that I don't miss Ireland and don't sometimes long for it. Of course I do. And this coming Thursday, I want you to celebrate. I want you to become a Paddy. I want you to go out there and party. But I'd like you to party reasonably, sensibly. Don't overdo it. You don't have to get blind drunk on Main Street. You don't have to go to an Irish bar and just keep downing the shots. And they have all those cute gals out who are coming up, siding up, saying, hey, do you want a shot? Throw it down. You don't have to. You don't have to enjoy the day to do that. Because remember what binge drinking is all about. You lose control. You don't know who you are. You may end up saying or doing stuff that's not good for you. That's not good for your health. And sometimes when I go to Irish bars on Paddy's Day and I see this, I wonder about what you're all doing the other days. What are you going to do on Friday night? Are you going to binge drink again? Now, I'm sensitive about alcohol because obviously I grew up in Ireland. I've seen my share of alcoholics, both privately in my family. I've seen them in practice a lot. And I've seen it here in California quite a lot. In Ireland, when I grew up, people kind of said, sure, God help him, God help her. What can she do? Sure, the drink has her. And that fatalistic attitude really annoyed me. Because the drink doesn't have to have you. You can beat it. And I see the same kind of stuff here in California, but it's phrased differently. They're alcoholics, nothing can be done for them. You write them off. They're losers. Losers. What an awful phrase, losers. No. I want everybody listening to me to understand this. Alcohol causes problems. Alcohol is addictive. But with modern medicine, we can help you. We can help you control it. And you have to understand that. You want to check out more, I'm running out of time here. You can go to my website, which is drchambersOnCall.com. I have a video on new ways, new approaches to alcohol. New ways, new approaches to treating alcohol problems, to treating alcohol addiction. Now, it's entertaining, and I kind of go through some decades and I explain what AA is and why it doesn't work, and what I'm proposing, what the new methods are for handling addiction. So check it out. And during the week, please follow me on my Facebook page, which is Dr. Chambers on Call. That's Dr. Chambers on Call. And Twitter, it's at Dr. JC on Call. That's at Dr. JC on Call. Now, on my digital platform, I try to take the news and interpret it for you so that you understand it. Because you know what? There's so much out there that says, one day, breakfast is good for you. You got to have it or you're going to be fat. The next day, the news comes out, breakfast is bad for you. If you eat breakfast, you're going to be fat. So what I try to do on my website, drchambersoncall.com, is weigh in there and analyze it for you and say, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that. And then I take some social topics and discuss them, like, you want to take your kids to the doctor? These are the tips that you need to have. This is what you need to say to your kid. This is the best way to approach that. And I've got a little video on that. So please check it out. And next Saturday, I'll be back here live and local. If you want to suggest topics for the show, you want to comment on the show, email me at drchambersoncall@gmail.com. That's drchambersoncall@gmail.com. This is Dr. Chambers on Call on Talk Radio 790 KABC.